Nothing really pisses me off more than paying somebody to do a job and then having to go back and do it again for them. On the last episode of A Journey to the Sea, I bought a boat, gave you a tour, and sailed it around from Lake Union to Elliott Bay. This is Elliott Bay Marina, or at least it's the way I remember it. See, I rarely left before sundown. In fact, I think the only time that I left the marina when the sun was shining was if I was going downtown to get parts. You see, I had a laundry list of things to do before I could get done. And I only had 4 days left to get it done before I flew back up to Alaska for the last time before I came down on a one-way trip to bring the boat back. Time to dig into the maintenance. First problem is, the boat, it's as cold as Alaska. Problem solved. I stole this little heater from my sister-in-law, and I was actually quite surprised. It put out enough heat, and the boat stayed warm enough. Next step, change the oil. Keep doing this until you get tired. When you get tired, take a break. Head on over to the electrical. You get done with the electrical, head back to the oil. Once again, keep doing this until you realize you bought the wrong pump. When you need that break, it's time to change the belts. Belts are kind of a pain in the butt. They required about 250 trips. Yes, I'm being a little facetious there, but you know what? Fifth belt that I've tried, and it still doesn't work. Took a lot of trips to get the right size belt. I brought the old belt in, and it was either too small or too big, the ones that I was bringing back. I finally found one that was the right size. Once I got the belts changed, you guessed it, finished up the oil. As I was going through my checklist and making all my checks, I decided to check the work that I had paid quite an extensive amount of money to have done. This is what I found. Nothing really pisses me off more than paying somebody to do a job and then having to go back and do it again for them. Got the boat over here to the marina and turned around and was doing some other stuff and find the engine mounts I just had put in weren't even tight. Ridiculous. Luckily, it appeared to be a simple and straightforward fix. I just hoped there wasn't any damage from the engine bouncing around on the trip over to Elliott Bay. Admittedly, when people tell me I'm crazy for wanting to live on a boat, it's times like this, I kind of agree with them. Of course, like every fix, it took a lot longer than expected. So what if I said I only had 1 day left to get everything done before this ship's ready to go to Alaska? Would you be worried? It wasn't until I was flying back into Sitka and I could see the city below that the reality of the situation started to occur to me. The reality was, in about a month, I was going to take off out of Sitka and fly down to Seattle. It would be a one-way trip, and I'd get on my boat, and I'd sail it up here, 1,000 miles, through the unknown. As I thought about it, I wondered if maybe this time I was taking on too much. My friend who raced sailboats was going to help me bring it up, but it's a longer trip than he's ever made, and I think we're going to need some luck. When I got back, I continued to pack. There's something about packing that's nostalgic. Going through all your old memories, trophies, all the things that you worked so hard for. As I went through things, I went through with the idea that I was only going to keep what I could put on the boat. But as I continued to go through, I found it hard to get rid of some of the items, some of the memories. And they ended up in a box. Of course, all those boxes got moved to, well, you guessed it. They got moved to storage. So my idea was to only keep what I could fit on the boat. Well, in that idea, I think I completely failed. Alright, so my primary and my secondary people that were going to go with me, they've both canceled. My primary canceled and my secondary already has plans, because I talked to him a couple weeks ago, and I guess he booked some tickets with his wife. So I went through the rest of my friends and kind of took out the ones that I don't think are going to be able to go for various reasons. And then everybody that was left, I put them into some categories. I got people who might know about boating, people who might have been on a boat, people who might have seen a boat, and then people who might know what a boat looks like. So that's getting pretty far down on the list. And then I have a wild card spot for someone who I just might want to be stuck on a boat with for 3 weeks. So I'll send out some texts and make some calls, see what I can't come up with. Worst case scenario, my brother tells me that he can probably work something out at work so that he can go with me if nobody else can go. So that's kind of my last ditch effort here. With the prospect of possibly going with somebody that potentially knows as little as I do about boating, I did what any rational person would do. I sought help on YouTube. Minutes. I got 20 minutes. So this is what I woke up to this morning. Completely, totally empty house. It's kind of getting real now. Then I was off to the airport to catch a plane down to Seattle for the last time. I'd only left myself about a day and a half to finish provisioning the boat and take care of a few other odds and ends that needed to get wrapped up before I left. I had left myself only one way back.
These city lights so bright all start to look the same. Blind me from the memories of the place from whence I came. Everything I've seen and heard and felt does not compare. You take me at my word when I say I've been everywhere. In the air, on the road, no place left for me to roam. Tell the folks, far you know, I'll be coming on back home. Tired of being a rolling stone. to roam. Tell the folks, before you know, I'll be coming on back home. Tired of being a rolling stone. This old bird's already flown. Walked across New Mexico in all the wild west. Oklahoma, Texas, Utah, I've seen all the rest. In the air, on the road, no place left for me to roam. Tell the folks, far you know, I'll be coming on back home. Tired of being a rolling stone. This old bird's already flown. This old bird's already flown.
So I found out last night that my brother's not going to be able to go with me on the trip. So it looks like I'm going to be going alone and soloing this trip. My sister-in-law, she wants me to fly back up to Sitka and come down and maybe try a couple weeks or in a month or something. I told her it was going to be okay and I could go alone. It's not a big issue, but the reality is I got $47 in my bank account and about $100 to pay for mortgage on my credit card left. So payday is about 3 days away, or actually is 3 days away. I got just enough to get fuel in the boat and pay for mortgage in my first and third stop in Canada, and I plan on anchoring out for the second night, so hopefully that all works. I guess when they say you're all in, this is what all in is. On the scheduled day of departure, I woke up to find out that my brand new propane tank had been leaking all night. This ended up causing a full day delay because I missed the tides in the morning. As I lounged around the cockpit during the afternoon, just to relax a little bit before my trip, I realized that none of my friends had texted me or messaged me. I had set up a GPS tracker so that they could track my journey, but it seemed nobody even noticed that I hadn't moved on the day that I was leaving. That night when I went to bed, I had never felt more alone. The next morning the sunrise was absolutely beautiful. This rose my spirits a lot, and I headed out with a nervous anticipation.
It's about 9:30 and just heading out of the harbor. Adventure is about to begin.